You know, beets is fairly healthy for you, they say. Of course, if you've done any research on anything anymore, everything you talk about or everything anybody talks about seems like it's a superfood. A superfood. Well, I think any food you get's a superfood, my opinion. Some of it may be a little bit higher in nutrients than others. But there's one thing about it. All of them ain't high in all nutrients. So it takes a variety of stuff. A variety. Just like people, it takes a variety of different kind of people. Some you can tolerate, some you can't. Some you want to, and some you don't. Some you're better off listening to. Some you're better off not. That's just the way I think. I may be wrong. I'll tell you what, the way things are today, there's a lot of them out there showing their true colors, that's for sure. Good or bad, I'll keep my opinion to myself. We can give her another try. Take 2. Might get a little this time. The camera went off. I don't know whether it was the heat or what, but anyway, what we're doing is pulling these beets, trying to get a few to make some pickled beets out of them. Like I said earlier, these is the beets that we planted earlier that like to never got took off. Looks like they're gonna be about perfect size for canning. But they sure was slow about taking off. There's a big one. Cannon size, I'd call it too big. I like them about that size. That's I like getting out here and at 100 degrees, literally 100 now. Heat index, that is. And working and pulling beets. See, a lot of these ain't gonna make nothing, amount to nothing. But it's like I said, there's plenty in here. More than we'll probably need. They should have been thinned. They'd have probably got a little bigger if they had been thinned, but they weren't. And but they're plenty big enough. Plenty big enough. See them, pretty good beets. I don't know if you can see them or not. I'd say already you've got a cannon of beets here. Little bitty ones is all right, till this is dirt and little. I don't like fooling with them. There's a good one. That's actually too big. I think it's too big. I'm not going much farther here. We can just, we can deal with these. There's a softball. We can deal with these beets. They don't have to be all done at once. Might as well just get them out. That way I can plant some. I'll leave these that I've left behind, but we can come back, knock them out of the ground if they're in the way when we get ready to plant something else here. That's the plan anyway, to plant something else. A few big ones up here. Like I say, these is swamp cats. Swamp cats. I figure that leave the rest of them for a while. Because I just don't want to be out here all day fooling with these beets. That'll get us started. Probably make a cannon or two. And the thing of it is, I'm about the only one that likes these. I'll show you how I'm going to trim them right quick. I'm not going to do them all right now, but I'll show you how we're going to trim a few of them anyway. Just going to take these leaves, beet, cut them off 2 or 3 inches, just like that. Pull these pieces down, them little old dead ones. What we want to try to do is keep that from bleeding as much as we can. Pull off the old dead limbs and stuff that's around, you know, that's already dried. Leave the root on. Beets. And of course right on down to the small size. You can ring them off, you don't have to cut them, just like that. It's a lot quicker, to tell you the truth. Pull them dead ones off, get it up there about 2 or 3 inches and twist it. Get a little red-handed, who cares? It'll wash off. If it don't wash off, it'll wear off. Get up there, twist them off. You don't have to have no fancy cutters. You don't even have to have a knife. You twist it right there, twist it. You got your beet off. Get a hold of it, twist it, beet, top. I'm just getting these right now ready to wash them off. And then we'll have to get ready to cook them, process them, and then can them. You know, by leaving that on there 2 or 3 inches on them, the stems, it just keeps that beet from releasing so much of the beet blood, if you want to call it there. Now there's one that's split wide open, going in the junk pile. Now these little bitty critters, if they ain't no bigger than a quarter, I'm not fooling with them. The little tiny ones, I just ain't gonna do it. Pull all the dead limbs off. Them little critters, I just ain't fooling with them. Just that simple. See, them outer limbs die off earlier, but they'll hang on there. Right now's the time to just go ahead and get rid of them. You're gonna do it now or later on. Just do it now. No rush, nobody in no hurry. See these outer limbs here, the dead ones? Some of them dried plumb up. Just go ahead and get them off. You won't have to interfere in your work later. A few of them, see here? There's one, there's two. They're all dried completely up. Look like big long hairs. Take them off. Save yourself a little anguish later. Now just remember, you've got to have a real fancy cutter to do this. Pull them off. Pull them off close. Get a hold of that. Choke up on that about 2 inches and give it a little twist. You know, beets is fairly healthy for you, they say. Of course, if you've done any research on anything anymore, everything you talk about or everything anybody talks about seems like it's a superfood, a superfood. Well, I think any food you get's a superfood, my opinion. Some of it may be a little bit higher in nutrients than others. But there's one thing about it, all of them ain't high in all nutrients. So it takes a variety of stuff. A variety. Just like people, it takes a variety of different kind of people. Some you can tolerate, some you can't. Some you want to, and some you don't. Some you're better off listening to. Some you're better off not. That's just the way I think. I may be wrong. I'll tell you what, the way things are today, there's a lot of them out there showing their true colors, that's for sure. Good or bad, I'll keep my opinion to myself. Mosquitoes, they have just now discovered me. I'm not going to make you sit out here all day and watch me process these turnips. So here I'll do a couple more, and then I'll give this batch a little rinse. I think the water hose is done hooked up waiting. Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. That's enough right there. Let me take these, I'll put these tops in the compost pile here. the compost pile. Where'd that little booger come from? I'll just move these right here, right there. Let's see. Okay, now we're back on. I'll get the water hose. I thought it was laying there, but it's 5 miles over here, it seems like. Turn this on, blow some of that scalding water out of there. Whew, that's hot. Lays in that water hose. It gets hot. It's hot enough to cook the beets. Ouch. So, you know, that'll wash most of that red right off your hands. My goodness, come on. There we go. It's a cooling off. Just rinse them beets off. Just rinse them off, man. Just rinse them off. That beet right there has been damaged. Big hole in it. I ain't keeping that. You could cut it out. I just don't think I'm going to. All right, that's just the way I do it right there. That's just the way I do it. Everybody does things different. They'll be scrubbed before they're fixed. You can see that I have a, let me turn that on autofocus. Wagon. Can't even tell hardly anything's come out of it. Got a tray full over here. Let me move a little closer. Yeah. Beets, beets, beets. You can see the garden out there. Where that fence row's at. Let me turn that off. Well, maybe I can get it to focus. There's a fence through there that I planted another row of green beans in. Corn, it's 99.9% picked. And I pulled the potatoes out, got another row of green beans are growing, and of course the beets and the tomatoes. Let me move over closer and I'll show you the beans. Might be a little bit better. You can see right there is a sensor, a motion sensor. What that does is let me know if anything's in here munching on my beans. But anyway, that's a row of beans. Hopefully, it'll be pushing it. It'll be pushing it if they make it for frost. Tomatoes, they're still hanging on. My dickens was that? My clamp fell off of my, my goodness. Gotta watch that. There we go. But anyway, the tomatoes are still doing fine. It's just hot, man. It's just a hot, hot, hot. All right. You can see stuff's running out of energy. Time to plant more. Okay, that'll be it. We'll see what we can do with the rest of these beets in a day or two.